Everyone knows that my good friend is Pastor Hawkins. Pastor Hawkins is known for his levity. He's a fun-loving guy, and we've been close throughout our whole ministry. We kind of grew up at Cliff together. But he was concerned that I was taking this ministry a little bit too seriously. It was dominating my time. I'm here all late hours of the night, and he just felt that I needed to loosen up if I was going to be here for the long term. On one occasion, he walked into my office, and he said, "I just want to spend some time just talking to you, just fellowship with you." And he could see in my eyes I was saying, "I am too busy for this." He said, "I told you I need to talk to you." I said, "Not now." And Pastor Hawkins came over to my desk, took his two hands, and pushed everything off of my desk onto the floor. And I broke out laughing. And I'm laughing right now thinking about it. And he said, "I told you I need to talk to you." And then he spent the next 15 minutes lecturing me on how I needed to leave the office, go home, spend more time with my kids and my wife, and let this ministry take care of itself, because Jesus had already died for everybody. Ain't no need of me dying too. He loved me enough to loosen me up from workaholism and addiction so that I could kind of recalibrate my priorities. It was funny, and it was done in a compassionate, fun way, but it was a serious point that he was making to his friend who he loved, and I will always love him for that. When somebody really loves you, they will do what the definition of love is, which is it's a compassionate and righteous seeking the well-being of another. Just as he was seeking my well-being, we ought to seek each other's well-being. And you do it in your own personality, you do it in your own frame of reference, but you let people know you care, and you let people know you are after their best, even if it means clearing the desk for them if they won't clear it for themselves. That's biblical love. And our desire is to have an environment at our church, in our ministry, where that's happening all over the place, not because of a program, but because that's how we roll. That's how the atmosphere is at Oak Cliff. A developing community, small communities of people who are doing that for each other.
One of the memories that I have when I first experienced love in action was a very close friend of mine, best friend for many years, and I had an accident that almost cost me my life when, at the beginning of my music career. I was in a music concert. We were on tour, and I was walking backstage and walked through this dark curtain and fell into an orchestra pit about 10 feet and was found in the bottom of this pit and just out in this puddle of blood. And the person that found me was my best friend, Jesse Hurst. He jumped into the pit in the dark, not even knowing what was going to happen. And everything I'm telling you, I was told later. And I was told later that by the time we got to the hospital, they said that his nose was bleeding and they could tell that he was limping, but he didn't really ask the doctor to see him or anyone to see him because he was more concerned about how I was doing. And I was in a coma for a couple of weeks, and I had to be walked for a few minutes every day when I got home. Jesse came to the house, stayed at the house with my wife and I, and would get up and walk me in the neighborhood. That's love in action. You know, somebody may say, well, he was working for it, he was supposed to do. No, had a lot of people work for me that didn't do stuff like that. So that's what a friend does. And that's the horizontal Jesus that I pray that we can show each other every day. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesus.
So John talks about the importance of love. He says that it is the way we advertise Jesus Christ. People will know we're for real and that he's for real by our love for one another. He then talks about the fact that it's a commandment, not a request. It's the obligation of Christians to one another who are serious about Christ. But then he gives a compensation for it, a payoff in time and eternity. In time, greater experience with God. In eternity, greater reward from God. So it's a no-lose deal when you love God's way.